We have yet another NHL trade to discuss, and this one was a bit more of a surprise. Jeff Carter's on his way to Pittsburgh. We'll jump into the latest news coming up next. So welcome back to another video here at Top Shelf Hockey. Now, as I mentioned, we have yet another NHL trade to discuss here today. Of course, there will be many more coming. This one actually came really late last night, and after a long day of talking trades in the channel all day, putting out 7 videos, it was well after 2, I think probably almost 2:30 in the morning before the details were confirmed. I knew about an hour or so before that the details were not released yet, but the trade was going down from Bob McKenzie popping on Twitter and surprising everybody with Jeff Carter to Pittsburgh. But of course, as we were waiting for the details before I could talk about it, it was getting too late. So I need some rest to get through today, since it's going to be another crazy hectic day with probably tons of videos on the channel. So here are the details. Jeff Carter goes from LA to Pittsburgh for 2 picks going back the other way, as a 3rd and a 4th. And of course, LA retains half of Carter's salary here as well to make it more manageable for Pittsburgh. One of the picks here for the Penguins is a conditional pick. So for the Penguins, the 3rd round pick can be upgraded if the Penguins reach the Cup final and Carter plays in at least 50% of the game. So obviously Jeff Carter will slot in here as a number 3 center for Pittsburgh. We knew that was an area that they wanted to address. That's something that they've been talking about for a while. Somebody with decent size and skill, and he certainly meets those criteria. Obviously, some familiarity there with GM Ron Hextall, who was the former assistant GM in LA for a long stretch during their cup-winning days. So obviously, he and Carter have won championships together before. Very familiar. So he knows what he's fully capable of here. Now, the thing is that's a little bit surprising about this deal is that Carter's not a pending UFA. He still has another year left. So that was something that kind of caught people by surprise. We haven't really seen many players with more term being moved right now. Obviously, there were reports back in the last year or better saying that Carter would retire if he was traded, because there's been a lot of trade talk around the Kings for the past couple years, really, as they've gone through this rebuild and which veterans would be moved out and etc. here. So, his name has come up in the rumor mill before, but after that, most people didn't really think there'd be anything to it, given the fact that teams might be leery of taking him on because of that. Now, he also has one of those really long-term contracts that are outlawed now. So obviously he's been on the same deal for a long stretch of time. So if he retires before the end of it, like we saw with Roberto Luongo, there is a cap recapture penalty attached to it. So if he retires, it would actually negatively impact the Jackets and the Kings, but it would actually positively impact the Penguins. I know it's kind of an odd scenario that way. The Penguins' recapture penalty on it would actually be a positive number, so they would gain cap space by him retiring. Now, we don't necessarily think he's going to do that, but if a situation comes up with him like it did with Luongo, then certainly it's going to be interesting, because the Kings and the Jackets will be hit with a bit of a capture penalty, but it won't be terribly bad. But still, the Penguins one will actually come ahead, which is really odd, something I don't think we've ever seen before. So let me know your thoughts on this trade. We'll get set up here for the rest of the Trade Center day for NHL Trade Deadline 2021. Stay tuned. There'll be all kinds of videos coming out as the deals take place. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll catch you next time.